With a collectively heavy heart, many in the sports world roundly joined the rest of the United States in absorbing and acknowledging the guilty verdicts in the trial of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, who was convicted Tuesday of murder and manslaughter for kneeling on George Floyd's neck for more than 9 minutes last May. Within minutes of the verdicts, the LA Sparks issued a statement on Twitter. In keeping with both the WNBA and the organization's established social justice advocacy, it read, in part, "Our organization recognizes that one guilty verdict does not change the fact that people of color face systemic racism on a daily basis and continue to be victims of police brutality. While a modicum of justice was served with this ruling, it's important to remember that true justice will come when all citizens, regardless of race, gender, or religion, feel safe in their communities and have equitable access to education, housing, healthcare, and economic mobility." Floyd's death led to international protests and a widespread reckoning about racism and policing in the United States, including within the NBA and WNBA bubbles last summer. The Professional Women's League explicitly dedicated its season to social justice last summer, furthering many of its players' long-standing efforts to promote social progress and awareness. One example, in 2016, Sparks forward Simone Augustus was one of 4 Minnesota Lynx players initially fined by the league, which rescinded the penalty within a day, for wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt during warm-ups. The shirts were their response to police killings of Alton Sterling and Philando Castile, black men from Louisiana and Minnesota. On Tuesday, a multitude of WNBA players were active on Twitter as they braced for the verdict, and then swiftly shared a range of sober reactions to it. "Some sort of justice," tweeted former UCLA star Michaela Onyenwere, who was drafted last week by the New York Liberty. "Praying for George Floyd's family during this time." Sparks center Amanda Zahui B., who was an active participant in protests last summer in her native Sweden, tweeted, "I don't know how I'm feeling. I'm sad and happy at the same time. There is still so much work to be done. But this is a start towards the right direction. Let's stick together and let's strive for a better world. For you. For me. For everyone. On all accounts." Added Sparks star Nika Ogwumike, in succinct approval of the jury's decision. Ogwumike is the president of the WNBA's Players Association, which also issued a powerfully worded statement, "We know what we saw. That was murder, plain and simple." The union statement read, in part, continuing, "It is up to us, the people of good conscience, to honor George Floyd, his daughter Gianna and his family by continuing to push for comprehensive legislation to hold police accountable. Yes, Gianna Floyd, your dad has changed the world.